Hi, welcome to DMT. So I bought the big GS BMW 1250 TE in the summer this year, 2021, and returned to biking and discovered that fantastic feeling of riding a bike again. In this video, I want to share with you the 6 worst and good things about motorcycling that I've found since I got back in the saddle. So just to be clear though, actually riding a motorbike outweighs all the negatives, all the negative aspects of riding a bike. Once you're back in the saddle, then all the things don't seem to matter and you just enjoy the moment. So not in any particular order. Number 1 is the cost and the extras, the aftermarket products or the actual purchase of the bike, the cost of the bike itself. And the outlay can be expensive, especially if you're going for the latest model, latest motorbike. So we have things like ABS, electronic suspension, traction control, etc. So some of the technology on bikes is advanced for our benefit really, for the safety of riding a motorbike. So I guess the cost in making these bikes more capable and equipped bikes by the manufacturer has been passed on to us, the consumer. Another cost is that you don't have to necessarily buy aftermarket products for your bike, but some aftermarket products are beneficial for the bike, like I bought a fender extender for my front mudguard which stops all the muck thrown up onto the engine casing. So that's a good investment and it protects the motorbike in the long run. So those products don't come cheap either. And we all look to customise our bikes with little extras to bolt on, like a phone mount, tank bags. So for a quality waterproof product, these products don't come cheap either. And also you don't want to scrimp on protective clothing like a helmet and leathers or just riding gear generally. So you're going to have to dig deep into your pockets for some good quality riding gear for protection. So number 2 in returning to motorcycling, and one of the worst things I found about getting back on the bike is right turners. And I guess most of us consider ourselves safe riders. If you ride a bike, you'll know that whilst riding, your sensory awareness is heightened. You'll find yourself prejudging car drivers not seeing you, and so taking this into consideration whilst riding the bike. One of the most anxious feelings I get on a bike is when I come across side roads. You know, that when a car approaches and you wonder if they've seen you or not, and you know, you see them in the crosshairs coming from the left or right. So it's always an anxious bit when you see a car approaching from the left as to whether they're going to pull out or not. So what I tend to do now is that I anticipate them not seeing me, so adjusting my speed to stop if possible. So yeah, number 2, right turners, one of the worst things about returning to motorcycling. Number 3 is road surfaces, potholes, wind, rain and animals. So with all the electronics in the world assisting the rider, such as electric suspension and the ABS and traction control, etc., the laws of physics will take over naturally on a bike if the bike parameters go beyond their limits. So another negative is the road conditions. Hitting a pothole on 2 wheels isn't a great feeling. Neither is black ice, high wind, wet conditions, all of which can destabilise the bike and in the worst case scenario just take you off the bike completely. Another factor I've included in this category is animals. Can someone tell me why dogs run after motorbikes? I've seen them do it to other vloggers and I've actually had one recently in the Peak District. Fuck it. So number 3, road surfaces, potholes, wind, rain and animals. Number 4, boring motorways and dual carriageways. So I live in the middle of England. I've ridden and explored the local counties now, so I need to ride on boring carriageways or motorways to get to the areas where I will enjoy the roads, twisties and scenery. So number 4, riding on a straight road, so boring. Number 5, cleaning the bike, flies. Do we wash our cars every time we return from a journey? No. Bikes have a lot of nooks and crannies which will collect muck, so another chore is cleaning the bike so often. One of the worst things is bugs hitting you, and we must all have had that time the visor was up and you got a bug square in the eye. Not very nice. Can you imagine if we got hit by these poor guys who were driving along and suddenly got hit by a ladder and a turtle? So number 5, cleaning the bike and flies. Number 6, this is a minor thing, but getting ready to go for a ride, pre-ride checks. So I guess this shouldn't really be a bad thing about motorcycling, but I do find it a chore preparing for a ride, because you're exposed to the elements. You have to decide on which clothing to wear, and it's ideal to have suitable thermal undergarments, for example in cooler climates. Other pre-ride checks, such as, is the sat-nav programmed, is the recording equipment or the batteries charged up and the memory's been wiped so you've got space, is the fuel tank full up, and then also you have to do your pre-ride checks, your safety checks, so checking brakes, lights, indicators, clutch, tyre depth, tyre pressures, making sure the luggage, if you're carrying luggage, is stowed correctly and not loose. And in my manual, every third refuel, I should be checking the engine oil, checking the brake pad thickness front and back, checking the brake fluid level front and back, and also checking the coolant level. So number 6, getting ready and pre-ride checks. So that's 6 of the worst things I found about motorcycling since returning back to the saddle since May this year. It's now New Year's Eve, we're going into 2022. So all the good things about motorcycling. If you're a motorcyclist, you'll know what those good things are. If you're not, it's the anticipation, it's the excitement, it's the fact that you're sitting on an engine with 2 wheels and you're immersed into the atmosphere, the environment, the scenery. If you want to go a little bit quicker, it's the adrenaline. That's fantastic, and you can just take in the scenery and it's just immersive. You can forget about any problems. It's therapy. It's just fantastic. It's just community with other bikers. It's just fantastic. But don't take my word for it. Take this guy's word for it.
Well, there's the sensation of riding. Love the sensation of riding a motorcycle. It's the wind, it's the smells, it's the sights, it's the sounds. It's the kind of state that I find myself going into when I ride. Oftentimes it can be a place to think about things or to feel things or to get away or to be in the moment and be affected by your environment. The idea of travel, journeying, the sensations of kind of being alive. So the act of riding is, I just love it.